And we're back with another episode of R&R. I'm your host, Jamerson Ballard. Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody, man. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. What's going on, Wave and Trey, man? What's happening, man? I appreciate your viewership, man, and everybody else in the Capital Letter Club and the Red Game, man. Welcome, man. You could be spending your time anywhere else, but you spending it with me, and I appreciate that, man. All right, so let's get into today's topic, man. And it's not necessarily a popular topic. It's gonna ruffle some feathers, and it's gonna be pointed mainly at the ladies, man. So, ladies, are you in a relationship with your son? And I know that sounds weird probably to some of y'all, but it's probably happening to more of y'all than you would like to think. Now, first, let me have y'all to excuse my background because it do be lightweight lit in the background. So all the background noise, please just try to overlook that and just focus on me. Second, I'd like to send a special shout out to DC Young Fly, man. Condolences to him. If you don't know, bruh, has just tragically lost his beautiful young wife to cosmetic surgery complications, and she's no longer with us. And my heart goes out to you, bro. I don't know if this show is on your radar, but if you get a chance to hear this, I really hate that this happened to you, man. I've had the privilege of discouraging a couple of young ladies from doing something like that, and I would be highly upset if you were trying to lose a few vanity pounds and end up losing your life. And so I can't imagine how it is to be right now with 3 beautiful kids. But my prayers go out to you, brother. But yeah, so back to the topic, right? Are you in a relationship with your son, ladies? And I say that because there's been a show brought to my attention recently that I have not had the privilege of watching. I really be too busy to be watching certain stuff, man. I really try to guard my ear and eye gaze, but there is a show that is apparently on a friend of mine's radar, and it is, I'll say the name because I don't really care, but it's called, I think the lady's name is Peaches McIntyre, and on the show, and this is purely a woman's perspective. I haven't had the privilege of like watching the show myself to find out what exactly is going on altogether. And I'll attempt to kind of give some insight on what I think is going on with something like that, but it's purely speculation. But I've seen a lot of this recently where it's like a woman will be dating a man that may be under her full capability, and it could be a few things going on with that. I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose things professionally, but it's been my experience that if a woman is dealing with a man that she can quote unquote control or can stand over in a way, it might be some deficiencies in that area, and there's going to be some accountability that has to happen in order for y'all to get past this. And my thing is purely to like prevent things like that from other young ladies who may or may not be about to or going through this, because it's I'm hearing about this a little too often. And we try to kind of step it up around here in the Capital Letter Club, but on the show, apparently, in my friend's perspective, the lady has like 6 kids by this one guy who she's been with since high school, but she just had a baby, and the dude isn't really participating as much as a friend of mine would like to see happen, and I can't argue with that. I would imagine that if you had a woman and she is just had the baby weeks ago, if that, and you not making attempts to help out around the house with certain things or with the baby or anything, it's just like, I don't think that you should have to be told to participate in this. It should happen automatically. But again, I don't know exactly what's going on. Later on in the conversation, she revealed to me that I guess the guy did not necessarily want her to have the baby. But guys, that's not an excuse for you to not participate in the caregiving of your child. You understand what I'm saying? Now I know that some of you guys might, oh man, what you don't know what you talking about, man. I'm not no hater, Brian. I'm not here to tell you how to do your thing. And then it's just I can't see that, man. But I am not one of those guys who is a male. I am a man, and I don't know if y'all seen the show in the first season, man being a man versus being a male, but a lot of dudes, and this is becoming also more popular, which is irritating. A lot of guys will wait for a woman to be a woman in order for them to be a man. And this, in my very humble opinion, is non-negotiable. I illustrated this point to a guy friend of mine while we was working last weekend. That's like a rock negotiating with water. Like, if you do this, then I'll do that. Like, the rock is going to be the rock regardless, and the water would have to go around or over it. It's not going. And I'm not saying that men should be unmovable in their position. I'm just simply stating that you're going to be solid regardless of what this woman does or does not do. That should be your stance, period. I'm not finna negotiate my manhood according to how much of a woman you decide to be or not be this day. Yeah. Now, I can say that the woman maybe went against the man's wishes and that irritated him, and he wants to teach her some kind of lesson by just, I'm not going to participate fully because I asked you not to have this kid. But she had it, and it's here, and it's a blessing. So what lesson are you teaching? Now, this lady has a show that's on YouTube, I guess, and she's illustrating all the points of her life, and she's doing pretty well at this point, and the guy is just kind of there. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think he's being required to do as much. And the ladies, I would imagine that you have some accountability in this situation, because you have to require certain things of men. You can't just be sleeping with people just because they're a man, or just because you don't want to be alone. And being alone is scary. Trust me. I understand that. We are social creatures, and being with a man or a woman is kind of the point of this whole thing. But my point for men would be, if you don't have an assignment for a woman, you probably don't deserve to have a woman. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for instance, you are a business owner and you own a business and you have one, but you're not doing enough business to actually need an employee yet, or you can't afford to pay one. Now, women are an acquisition, but they also have maintenance fees. And romance without finance is a nuisance. Now, this is for the men. Now, I'm saying, bro, if you got a woman, but you live with her and you ride in her car, and you needed help and you don't want to be homeless, I can get that. But at the same time, bro, you are a liability to her. And at some point, she's going to get tired of that. And she's not going to let you live that down very easily. So what is the point of getting in a relationship with a woman and not be able to contribute, or not contribute like this is your mother or something? If you don't have enough going on to give her, or if you don't have an assignment, if you don't have a vision, you might not be in a position to need or have a woman, because you need to be given maybe some type of, not necessarily directions, but yeah, you need to have something that you may need help with in order for, because women are helpmeets, bro. it's really not more I can say as far as that. I mean, I can say it a bunch of different colorful ways, but at the same time, bro, it's just, I mean, I think, and shout out to Craig. I think Craig mentioned on the show, it might have been the 5150 show, where he was saying, like, if you don't give a girl something to do, or you don't keep her mind occupied with something, she's going to leave you. She's going to cheat on you. And I don't necessarily altogether agree with that, but I'm inclined to, because, I mean, you know, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, bro. And, you know, I'm not saying that this should be 50-50, but every relationship has its own parameters, and you know, the freedom of having a relationship is you can decide what you want to happen in that relationship. But you should be a man first, not a male aspiring to be a man and living with a woman right after you moved out of your mother's house, like as if to have a second mother. Now, to the women, and I'm not trying to preach at you or nothing like that. I know that this is gonna sound kind of harsh, but like I said, man, you cannot want to be with someone so bad that you will pick some dude up off the ground and just take him and put him in your house. Men have a purpose, and if he hasn't found his purpose, and you have to find it for him, a point. How you start a relationship is how you will end the relationship. Now, I mean, you know, there's some dudes that is professional hobosexuals. Yes, I said that. Hobosexuals. They have no intention of having their own stuff. Their only intent is to screw you and to have a way into your shit. And once they do that, it's like, can you really tell them what to do? I mean, so it's the risk factor is kind of high because he is stronger than you supposedly, and you know, what men have a problem understanding is that when you get into a woman's property and all of her, she's relinquishing control of that to you, but she is choosing to do that. You can't hostily take over her shit. If you want to run something, bro, you have to have your own shit. And women, I would hope that you want more for yourself than just some companionship, because it's cold at night. You tired of being. These are some of the drawbacks of this. You know, the things that come with accepting government assistance. You know, it's not all hunky dory. You don't need a man to take care of you. You can take care of yourself, but you don't want to be by yourself. So now you got this guy who is laying up on you and eating up your stuff, and now he in your shit telling you what to do. And you might not take kindly to that, and that's understandable, but you know, misery loves company. And so I would hope that you're not miserable. I'm pretty sure you know everything. You probably don't need no advice, but just kind of, you know, require more of the man than just for him to have a penis in order for him to enter into your life. And you can avoid a lot of these problems, man. But if you young and you just running around here making decisions with your genitals, you're going to run into this problem more often than not. And, you know, warning comes before destruction, man. But if you already in something like that and you notice that the guy that you got ain't really a guy at all, he's just a male, then, you know, these are some of the consequences of your actions. And I'm not here to tell you deserve that. I'm just telling you, you don't have to be with somebody. It's okay to be by yourself for a period. To, you know, I don't know what the squatter's rights is, but once a dude get a bill sent to your crib, he a resident now, and you got to go through extra stuff probably to get him evicted. And that's a lot of weird shit going on with that. You know, you decide you don't want to be with a dude and you trying to leave him, or you trying to get him to leave you, and y'all trying to play this weird game to see who gonna break up with who first, and you gonna stop participating in household chores, or you're not gonna do this or that act no more because you want him to get tired of you and leave, or he just cheating and out, but he still need a place to live, so he got keys to your crib. That's a lot of extra game for no reason, man, and it can be prevented. And this is why I'm having this show, man. So it's gonna be some hard questions that need to be asked. Are you screwing your son? Are you screwing your son, basically? A nigga that needs you more than you need him. And that's just not cool. What is going on? Do you feel like you need to have control of everything? Or you just thought that things were going to be hunky-dory after a while? He would get a job. You cannot marry potential, man. I mean, there are some exceptions. There are some guys who just had a hard time. I was one of those guys at one point. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But it comes a time where it's like you have to get your stuff together with or without another person. And having a person is a luxury some of y'all just cannot afford at this point. And that's a hard fact, but it's okay. And you are not alone. But yeah, to seeing and hearing about this lady moping around and sad because this guy is not doing what she think he needs to be doing, I just felt like he's had 6 kids with this lady. Some of that might actually be her fault, because if he wasn't participating in any of the other children's rearing, then what's going to make him do different on this one? Because he's on TV? I'm not exactly sure what she wants to happen. But I'm pretty sure most times it's not going to look like he deserves any, it's all his fault. And that's a part of that is true, but I just would have to argue that if you put up with that 6 times and this is the 7th, what's going to change? Now, I'm hearing that there are a couple of kids that have complications. They aren't all together there, and I'm not want to talk bad about children. They didn't ask to be here, bro. A friend of mine was arguing why wouldn't he want to have a vasectomy, and and that women sometimes are expected to get their tubes tied, et cetera, et cetera. And that's something that they would have to come to terms with and figure out, because you can't keep having kids that you can't take care of. I'll tell you right now, I'm a big fan of people having to take a test before you have kids. I don't know exactly how it would work altogether, but I'm assuming that you would take a test around 12 and an aptitude test to see if you are cognitive enough to have more than one child, because everybody would get one kid at least. But if you are an idiot, you can't have more than one kid. And if you had you got somebody else pregnant or whatever, or you after you had your one kid and you a dude, you'd probably get a vasectomy. That would have to be legally happening. And a woman, you get your tubes tied or burnt or whatever. You can't have no more kids after that one. You're an idiot. Now, I can't tell you can't have a kid at all, but you can only have one. Now, if you lightweight genius, you got some brain, and you can't just be about test scores either. I mean, I don't exactly know how you would test for common sense, but we'd have to figure that out and just kind of keep too much of this going on, because it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Too many idiots out there having 10, 11 kids. That shit should be against the law, for real. That is no cap. Anyways, I mean, because this is a game, bro. This is a game. Whether you want to play this game or not, this is a game, man. It's a one big game to a lot of people, and it shouldn't be like that. A lot of people are in relationships competing with the energy of the relationship, and I like to call them energy vampires. You with somebody you know that you better than, or you know is out of your league, and you just with them for now. You feel like they gonna pay your bills, et cetera, et cetera. That's not cool, man. And then when you see the person that you think is more your speed, now you squatting on them to try to get up with the next person and cheating and doing all this. That's not cool, man. I know it says if you can't love the one you want, to love the one you with, but Why is it that you settling for somebody that you know you can run circles around, man? There's a deficiency there. There's something wrong with you. And like I said, you probably don't want to hear this, man. This is for a lot of people as vegetables. By the way, I have decided that I'm going to be on a raw food diet this week. So, I mean, and that means simply that there's no meat involved. It's all fruits and vegetables. And shout out to somebody in my life that has inspired this, because I've had this on my mind for several months and have not yet pulled the trigger, and I just recently got that little extra push I needed. I've already been mentally preparing to do something like this. I'm kind of on the cusp of doing it already, but now I'm trying to get the little salad situation out of my teeth right now, excuse me. But yes, it's happening, and you know, it's all about health, but also within that is I'm reading the Celestine prophecies, and it talks about how to get energy from other things other than each other, man. And one of those things is consuming food. But in the book, it talks about how these priests are chewing deliberately, slowly, and actually savoring the food, because it's looked upon as like eating being like a holy experience, which is why religiously we pray over our food, but not understanding that to appreciate the energy that you are receiving. What's up, Neff? Receiving from this food, or this life force that you're receiving from this food is a process that we kind of just clumsily go through, but it's a real thing, man. I was actually training myself to see energy, and it was told to me in the book that it's actually easier to see energy when you don't consume meat. And so we're going to try this thing out for a week. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier about grounding, which is like where you like come in contact with the earth with your actual naked feet, and you know, just getting out in nature more, and exchanging energy or getting energy from the beauty of nature in certain areas and stuff like that. It's really not as complex as it sounds, but the earth and everything in it all has energy. We don't have to argue with each other as people or just rob each other for energy. Because like I said, this whole thing is a game, and some people are so involved in you know, just the exchange of currency and things like that, that they miss the point of the whole thing, man. A close friend of mine was talking about how Chase is giving out $225 to bank with them, and I, understanding the plight now, kind of was like turned off in a way, because it's like, that's bait. I don't know if you can see that, but that's bait, bro. The bank is not finna give you nothing for free. And with Chase, and I'm not trying to squat on Chase, if you bank with Chase, you know, kudos to you, but I couldn't do it because it's too many fees. You have to have a minimum balance of over $500. You go under that, you get hit with a fee. So it's like, or you have to have if you go under a certain amount, or it's just too many fees. By the time you get through paying all the fees, they didn't got their $225 out. They want to be the ones to screw you. You know what I mean? There's some practices in business that it seems like it's something for nothing, but there is no such thing. Everything is going to cost you something. Right now, I heard from Wall Street Trapper, shout out to him, that Amazon is about to start giving out free phone service with the app, or with customers that subscribe to Amazon, which is about to piss a lot of people off, like AT&T and Boost and all these other T-Mobile, and they about to lose out. But I personally don't like to give any one app or anything too much of my power by just going to that one thing. I don't like using Google for everything. I don't like using Apple for everything. I don't like using one thing all the time. I don't buy my apps within other apps. If it's HBO, I buy HBO, and if it's Cinemax, I use that. Stars, I don't get them inside of Amazon, and I understand that there's a convenience, and sometimes there are some kickbacks, or you save a little money. But I'm not necessarily all about saving money. I just don't want to give anything too much power, man. I mean, if that's you, wow, it's loud as fuck. Somebody got a bucket out there, and it's irritating. What's up, 29? What's happening? Like I said, man, I don't want to give any one app no more power than they should have by subscribing to everything inside of that, and I try to change it up, keep it undetectable, untraceable, or I mean. I just don't want to be so predictable, man, because this artificial intelligence thing is becoming a thing, man. And I could use Chat GPT or DP, whatever it's called, for a bunch of stuff. But I honestly kind of feel like, and this is just me spitballing here, that the more we feed those things, the more they know about us, and the more power we give them to kind of subjugate us. You know what I mean? So that's me with my 10 full kufi. But I ain't want to spend too much time on that. I really, I'm trying to make up for the fact that the show, the Dead Homie show, was a little short. But I gotta keep it moving. I just had a new acquisition today. Shout out to the Lord above, man, because he deserves all the credit for this. I don't even know how it happened today, but it happened. If you're close to me, you know what I'm talking about. But at any rate, man, shout out to El Shaddai, the God above, man, for my new acquisition, man. And I mean, I'm hoping all y'all believe, but if you don't, I'm not trying to turn you off. At any rate, man, let's get into this part of the show I like to call Don't Be a Weirdo. And today's Weirdo of the Week is a doozy. All right, so let me refer to my notes right quick, because, I ain't got it all memorized. It's kind of there. But there's a guy by the name of Danny Masterson, a.k.a. Hyde of the 70s Show. So this is a celebrity weirdo of the week. And this somebody I actually kind of rocked with while he was on the 70s Show. But dude wins our Weirdo of the Week award for using Scientology to rape chicks. Now, I don't know if you heard about this, but dude is a pretty high profile rapist, allegedly. And I say that loosely because he's been actually found guilty. But he was basically drugging chicks and using his religion to corner chicks. Man, wow. Shaking my head, bro, because you a celebrity, bro. Now, I know you married and all of that, and you got chicks galore. Why are you drugging chicks, man? And why are you using your religion to do it? That's just heinous and very unnecessary. I mean, because it ain't like this is some, weird looking dude. He actually, I'm not gay or nothing, but I'm pretty sure he can get bitches without that. What are you doing, bro? And anyway, he was found guilty of rape and is currently facing 30 years behind this atrocity. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, bro. It's just, I don't understand, bro. I really don't even have too much to say about that. Like I said, we all about consent over here, man. I mean, and then you married. You're already getting regular babby. I don't understand why you feel like you gotta rape chicks, man. But anyway, that's our weirdo of the week, man. And so I'm gonna just roll over into the next issue. What's going on, Miss Hecker? What's happening? I know, right? It is. It's really, really sick, bro. I mean, I'm pretty sure you got chicks throwing themselves at you, and you only cornering chicks at the church house, and then after they are enamored with you, they want to join your religion or whatever the case may be. They knew. I mean, you got all these things working for you, and then you get them in the back somewhere, and then you drugging them. You can't just, holla at them. Like, use your, I mean, he was so smooth on the show, you would think that he would be able to do that in real life, but I guess he can't really do that. He is exactly what he said. He is an actor. He was acting cool, but in real life, he got a drug chicks. That's ridiculous, bro. And disgusting. Low vibrations on you, bro. Low vibrations. You know, you definitely can't be a member of the Capital Letter Club. And if you out there doing that type of shit, don't stop. Please. Anyway, on this other segment I got called Who Got Active. Now this is an interesting story. Now, on Who Got Active, normally we have somebody that's, you know, trying to protect other people or things like that, but this one is a doozy, and I saved it just for you guys. So yeah, there is a guy in Northeast Texas, an actual 18-year-old guy by the name of Caesar Oladay. Brett called 911 and confessed to killing his mother, his father, and his 2 siblings. Now, he confessed, you say, yes. Yes, the nigga called the police on himself after he killed all 4 of these people. But guess why he called the police on himself and killed these people? Apparently, this is a family of cannibals, and they was about to eat this nigga. Can you imagine your mama and your daddy? They plotting to eat you. Now, somebody I know was saying that can't be true, but there are some people that they practice this. I think it was a restaurant that was just called out for this out in some part of Africa. I can't remember. I think it started with a Z. It was a Zaire, Madagascar. I don't remember what country it was. I seen it on somebody else's TikTok because I don't got TikTok. I fuck TikTok. I can't fuck with it. I don't not like TikTok, but I don't want nobody looking through my shit and stealing my none of my info out my phone. So I deleted TikTok as hard as it was. Anyway, somebody else was watching TikTok and they was talking about a restaurant where they was serving human out there, motherfucker. That's disgusting. And I would be hella mad. Oh my God. Anyway, apparently this ain't something that used to happen, or it's not something that's going on in America. And this young man was about to be a whole victim, and he had to fend for himself and end up killing his mama and his daddy and his 2 siblings because they was about to boil his ass and put him in a pot of stew. And he wasn't going out. So he got active. He killed their motherfucking ass, and I sure hate it, but yeah. They was about to eat his ass. They was probably putting seasoning on the nigga and all that shit when he was asleep. He woke up and stabbed everybody. Now, I don't know how he killed them. And shout out to them. I hate that they, had to go like that because it was some old white man that was speculating about the whole thing. What's up with it? Hoodie? What's happening? So there was it was an older gentleman that stayed next door was just talking about how nice everybody was. And you gotta watch that shit, man. Cause it be that nigga next door, that nice motherfucker you think is cool, but they over there eating each other or eating people. And you wanna come over to our barbecue? We're having burgers and mixing the hamburger meat with human and putting salt and pepper and cumin on it. And you just, it's so delicious. Oh, can I have another? Nigga, you didn't feel the texture in that burger was a little tough or a little different? That wasn't no chicken and no beef, nigga. That was human in that thing, bro. You just ate seasoned human meat burgers, and you was loving that shit. So yeah, I don't really fuck with people's food. I'll definitely not fucking with that. Hell nah. He gonna be like, that's my secret recipe. Basically that's your secret ingredient, human meat. I'm cool. Stop it. What's going on? What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Okay, Kiki, what's going on? Hey, look. Right now, we going through this little part of my show we like to call Who Got Active. And there was a whole Hispanic dude who just killed his mama, his daddy, and his two siblings trying to defend himself because they was about to eat his ass. So yeah, we on that shit right now, and that's kind of weird. But that's our segment of who got active. I'm sorry, y'all. You might have to rewind this thing and go back through it. But that shit happened in Northeast Texas. So if you out there, watch out, man, because they eating niggas out there. I mean, apparently not them folk no more because they dead. He RIP they motherfucking ass. But he facing capital murder for that shit. And he told on himself. I just don't understand why. And either he real clever and came up with that to try to get some sympathy. But if you did that, I mean, he could have just got up out of there and act like he didn't know none of that happened. You know what I'm saying? But he called the police and told them, like, hey, man, I just killed my people. They was trying to eat me, though. You still got to go down, but, you know, we hear you. We hear you. Anyway, now, for the last and final segment of my show, which is called Wake the Fuck Up, I put people on a certain artist that I rock with, and today, what's up, Mobile BMT? What's happening, man? Right now, we finna fuck with somebody I rock with pretty hard, bro. Brother name is Veeze, Veeze. I don't know if y'all ever heard of bro. He out of Detroit. Bro got a fairly new project out called Get Off My Dick. Okay, yeah, please rewatch that shit, man, because it's real. But yeah, right now we talking about Veeze. Veeze is hard, bro. Veeze is fucking with it right now, bro. He in the same camp with Babyface Ray and them, but bro up next right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you haven't had the privilege of rocking with bro, please go back and check that out. I mean, if you got Facebook, you can holler at me on Facebook, and I usually set up a link of all the things that I feel like is interesting as far as the artist on a pretty regular basis. What's going on, bro? What's happening, Mobile? And yeah, so yeah, if y'all fuck with that, or you fuck with Facebook, go to that, and I got a whole list of artists that I've highlighted in the last 3 to 6 months, and you can just catch up, bro, because you don't want to get left behind, man. If you're a mark, you can probably put some of this in and get you some more game and fill in some of the gaps when I ain't, available. But anyway, that's been it for today's show, man. If you gain anything, please, don't be shy. Hit me up on Cash App, $SuperStee, SuperStee. Again, shout out to the Rant Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. I hope y'all all have a productive week. Man, I'm out of here.